Hi, guys. I'm Nina,
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Jeremy.
and we are Bloody Essentials. Just a quick thank you to all of our listeners for supporting the show. It really means a lot to us, so thank you guys so much. Shout out to our Patreon members, Rick, Swift, and David. Guys, thank you so much for contributing to the show and just being awesome all around, guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
And also special shout out to Swift. Happy birthday, Swift. It's a little late, but we forgot last week, so
We're actually recording this one on your birthday, so
yeah.
happy birthday.
So, happy birthday. Ethan, you want to tell our listeners about our upcoming appearances?
I most certainly do, Nina. We are going to be at the Music Box Theater July 26th for the Horror House's 3rd anniversary. They are doing a Nightmare on Elm Street 3 theme. The doors open at 10 o'clock and the movie starts at 11:30. If you order your tickets online, you are going to be put into a raffle. The raffle has an 8x10 picture of Robert Englund signed with a certificate of authenticity and also a gift card to the Horror House. Now, if you guys have ever been to any of the Horror House's parties or events, they are 5-star. They are phenomenal, guys. So come on out, have a drink, see the movie, come see us. It's going to be one hell of a time. Guarantee it. Yep. We are also going to be at Flashback Weekend, August 1st through the 3rd, where again, you can come and actually meet Robert Englund. I would get in line now because it's going to be a long line. I'm just saying. But you know who there's not a line for? Bloody Essentials. You can come.
That's not true. There's a line.
Well, okay, there is a line, but usually it's because, well, we're at the bar. So anyway, come up to us, take a picture with us. We'd love to meet you. We would love to put you on our socials and just give you a shout out. And we appreciate everybody who comes up and supports the podcast in any kind of way. So please, if you do see us there, stop by and say hi.
Yes. And if you are interested in any awesome merch, let us know when you see us because we will have some with us that we are selling, including this awesome hat right here. So
it's true.
Yeah.
And shirts and koozies and pens.
No buttons, though.
No. No buttons.
No buttons.
Sorry, you want a button? You got to make it yourself.
We tried, but it didn't work.
Because apparently the 4 of us don't know how to make a button, so.
We cannot make buttons. But we got everything else.
That's right.
All right. So tonight we are doing one of my favorite movies. This is our Father's Day pick. You guys voted, we listened, and it is Pumpkinhead from 1988.
Yay.
Love this movie. Very underrated horror film, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, Ethan, I know you saw it in theaters. What was that like for you?
I remember going into the theater and saying, Nina's a bitch. And then coming out of the theater being like, yep, she's still a bitch. I did not see it in theaters, ma'am. Yeah, when it came out, when was it? 19 what?
88.
88. So I was 11.
You could have seen it.
Right.
I probably could have, but I don't think my parents are going to take me. So
true.
I did not see it in theaters.
Darn. Well, tell us about the first time you guys saw this movie.
Well, the first time I did see it was probably on like an HBO type deal. Or I may have even got it from like Blockbuster or, you know, the local video store down the street from us, Nighttime Video. That's probably where I got it. And I remember watching it and being like, this is freaking awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like, I love this. This is great. So it's always held a special place in my heart since then because, you know, 80s horror.
Yeah.
That's right. I love 80s horror.
There you go. Jeremy, what about you?
I was this years old when I watched this movie.
Really?
So I knew about it. I seen the character. He looked like an alien.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like Sam from Trick or Treat.
Yeah, for me before, like, aliens and robots was never my thing, so I just passed on it. we were talking, and then you were like, we were talking about Pumpkinhead. I don't know how it got brought up, and I
I
was
think
like,
it was
I
at a
never seen.
con.
I was like, I've never seen it, and then Nina was like, yeah, you need to fix that. So
Yeah.
that night, I went home and watched it, and it was fucking awesome. I missed out on so many years of not watching it.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about Father's Day picks. This got brought up. I don't know if I brought it up, one of us brought it up, but it went from me never seeing it to being like, yes, we need to cover this fucking movie.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm glad the listeners chose it.
Yeah.
I probably saw it 3 years ago for the first time. Like I'd been passing on it. I didn't even know what it was about. I was like, it sounds like I don't even know what it is. And one of my friends was like, oh, you have to watch it. Like if you love horror, you need to see it. So we turned it on and
Definitely.
it was a blast. So yeah.
And I got to give a little shout out here to my best friend Nick, God rest his soul, and his wife Lydia. They are obsessed with this movie. They loved it. So me and Nick would always watch this.
Yeah.
So
Love you, Lydia.
yes, we love you, Lydia.
Yeah, so let's hop on into Pumpkinhead, shall we?
Let's do it.
Awesome. So we start out in 1957, and we meet this family. We've got Tom and Ellie, and then their son Eddie, right? And Eddie's going to bed. The parents seem a little nervous, very anxious, on edge. And I love how Ellie's like, is everything going to be okay? Should I be worried? Like, and he's just like, just reassuring her, right? And we see an older man, he's running through the woods and he's terrified, like something is chasing him and he's running for his life. And he comes knocking at Tom and Ellie's door and they aren't letting him in. They're like, no, go away. Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah. And he's literally begging for his life. And Eddie gets out of bed and he's looking out the window and he sees this creature killing the man. And flash forward to present day, Eddie's all grown up. He goes by Ed now, which made my notes so much easier. Yeah. And he's got a son of his own. But his wife has since passed away, unfortunately. So Ed is raising his son, Billy, on his own. And we see Billy give his dad a necklace just because that he made for his dad, which comes into play later.
Yes, it does.
Yes. Meanwhile, we've got this awesome group of teens because what 80s horror movie is complete without them?
Absolutely.
And, they're headed to a cabin. They're going to have a good time in the summer in between classes and stuff. So they're driving down the road. Meanwhile, Ed and Billy, we find out that they operate a small town like general store, not really a gas station, but not a full-blown grocery store, right?
Right.
And the teens end up stopping at their store and they're messing around and just being typical teenagers, right? Not very considerate. Yes. Yeah.
And apparently the only thing they did not sell at that store was soap because that child was dirty and it aggravated me the whole damn movie. Sorry.
Which child, Billy?
Billy. Yeah.
Oh, he's a kid. He plays on a farm. Like
Ed's fingernails were dirty too.
Yes.
Grab the money, man.
Calm down.
I'm just saying.
You Italians. He's a little boy that plays in the mud.
Listen, I had a little boy too, and when he was out playing, he got dirty. That's fine. Then when he came in, his little ass got washed because no.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
you're right about the fingernails. Drives me insane. Go ahead.
It drives me insane too. Yeah.
The one part I really loved is when they were opening the store, he was watering like the tomatoes and stuff, and he messes with his dad, and the dad grabs the water and hits him in the face with the water. It's just like, to me, it's like a touching moment. Like they really love each other. It's just super tight bond. It was like a little scene, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
I like the scene where he's like sitting down at the table with him and he's like telling this story of like a father and a son. And I thought that was really moving. And like when Billy gave Ed the necklace, like I thought that was really sweet because he was just like so excited. He was like, oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And like, he wasn't faking it. He wasn't putting on a facade. Like he genuinely was just touched that Billy thought of him.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
You can
I
really
think
tell the love between the two characters. Super
Absolutely.
early on too. They did a good job.
They did a really great job.
Yeah.
And like child actors, it can be hit or miss sometimes, but like this kid is amazing.
Yeah, no, he did a great job.
Yeah. So right away, like that is really important because if they missed that, this movie would have failed.
Right.
All right. So we have some locals arrive, Mr. Wallace, and he's got his grandkids with him.
Who are also dirty.
They're filthy.
Yeah.
They're filthy. They don't have a shower. They don't have
Yeah.
running water.
Yeah, I was like, no one in this town has soap, damn it. Sorry.
They might have soap, but they definitely don't have running water.
They definitely did not. Hell no.
No.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they go wash in the creek.
Yeah.
But they're mostly nice. Like Mr. Wallace is chill, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could be nice and dirty. I mean,
Hey, you're poor, you can't afford soap, you gotta choose between food and soap, you're choosing food. Like, you don't know. Anyways. So
no, I don't know because I'm fat and I got soap. So I can choose food and soap. So
Ethan,
I
you're
choose
supposed
both.
to be poor. Okay.
Well, thank God I'm not. So
You're such a jerk. Okay. So Mr. Wallace.
sorry, kids, my Red Bull's kicked in.
Yeah, that's what's going on. So Mr. Wallace is there to buy feed. Ed says he doesn't have any at the store. He forgot to bring it, so he'll deliver it later. And Mr. Wallace is like, before nightfall, please. So, and then meanwhile, we hear the Wallace kids. They are telling Jimmy Joe, one of the other Wallace kids, to be good or Pumpkinhead's going to get him.
Two first names.
Because he steals Billy's ball. Yeah. Jimmy Joe. So Ed decides he's going to go get the feed now, and he tells Billy to stay inside the shop, mind the store, stay inside.
You know, right? You know I'm going to say it.
Should have listened to his dad.
No, bad parenting.
No.
Why the hell
He
would
should
you
have
leave that
locked-
child there by
locked
himself?
He should have
store
locked
up.
the store, put a sign, said, be back in 15,
Yep.
20,
Right.
took the kid with him. That kid is way too young to be left behind.
Right, especially and all those asshole guys were there. They don't know.
Yeah.
They're from
And
out of town.
that's
Leave
the
kid
biggest thing.
alone.
They're still there, and you don't know
Yeah.
them.
Right.
I was
Right.
like,
You know.
yeah.
I mean, the dog's only going to be able to do so much.
The
Right.
dog did shit.
Exactly.
The dog is the reason why this happened.
Right.
Not the entire reason, but like at least 25%. All right. Anyways, So-
we digress.
we digress. We're getting there. So the teens, they happen to have brought dirt bikes with them. So the big macho jackass that we have in the leather jacket, he's like, I'm going to fuck around now and find out. Right.
There's one in
So-
every group, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joel is who it is. Yeah.
Some
I
groups
don't-
have two. So
They do. Some
Yeah.
are only. that's
it. Right. Some groups are all assholes. So
Yeah. So
Oh,
we have Joel and we have Steve who are racing the dirt bikes around, and Steve ends up falling because he sees Billy and he tries to dodge him and he slips and he crashes. And then Joel, we find out, had been drinking and he did not see Billy until it was too late, and he ends up hitting Billy.
Facts.
And Joel like panics and he takes his girlfriend and they bail. Because I don't know if it said in the movie, but like this movie was moving really fast, faster than I could write or pause the film. So I had to look it up on like Wikipedia, some extra stuff. And I don't know if they say in the movie or not, but apparently he had gotten into other trouble previously.
Yes.
They did
yeah,
say that?
'cause
Okay.
He says
It's
something like
really
he can't go back
fast.
to prison or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's on
he's-
I think he said he was on probation.
He's on
or
probation.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. So he has a record already. If he gets busted for this, he's going away. So they run away. Steve decides he's going to stay with Billy until his dad gets back. And then the rest of them are going to go find the nearest phone, which happens to be the cabin, which is baffling to me. But like,
Right.
just find somebody's house. Like, I know it's the middle of nowhere, but you can't tell me there's not houses that have phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think.
You would think.
Well,
Or
they don't have soap, so why would they have phones? So
Soap
they
is
apparently
cheaper.
don't have a police force either.
right.
So yeah, they try to go find help. And then Ed gets back, and this scene is devastating. He is looking for Billy, can't find him, and then he sees Steve and he goes out there, and like he's still alive, but like he's out, like he's out cold. And Steve tries to explain what happened, and Ed just gives him this look, and that look says everything. Like,
Yeah.
if you're a parent, even if you're not a parent, like, you feel for Ed so much, so deeply, and that look, like, is how anybody, I think, would feel in this situation.
I have no idea what I would do in this situation. If I would, because the kid is still alive at the moment. I don't know if I would take my kid to get help right away, or if I would want to beat the dude's ass right then and there.
I would have taken my kid and gotten out of there, but
if you're in the right mind, but
afterwards,
at that point you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
I probably would have been in a panic, and like
Yeah.
urgency, like time is of the essence in these
Absolutely.
situations, especially with young children.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know the full details of what happened. So it's like, you know, and clearly they don't have a hospital. So it's like, what can you do?
Right.
So, but yeah, he definitely wanted to murder Steve.
Oh,
Like,
that
and
look.
Oh,
that
yeah.
look was
Who could
amazing.
blame him? Yeah, that look.
That at all.
Lance Henriksen, right?
Yes.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Love him so much. And he's so great in this movie. Yeah. So Ed puts Billy in his truck and he takes him home to care for him. And the teens get to the cabin where Joel and his girlfriend are, and they didn't call for help. They're not going to call for help. And if anybody else does, Joel's going to kick the shit out of them because he's a piece of shit.
Right.
He rips the phone line out of the wall.
Wall. He locks his friends in a closet. Yeah. He beats the shit out of one with a piece of firewood. Yeah, he's a jerk. Just But he locks two of his friends up in a closet. Steve gets back and he tells them what happened. And the Ed looked like he wanted to kill him. Because Joel's like, what do you mean he looked at you? Like, how did he look at you? Because he wants to know, like, is it safe to be like, I did it?
Right.
Or
he's like, how deep is shit?
Exactly. Is he gonna press charges, or are we good? Just so selfish. So Ed, he goes to deliver the feed to Mr. Wallace, like he agreed, and he asks him about a local witch that is in the area. And he shows Mr. Wallace Billy's dead body in the passenger seat of the truck. And he just says, city folk killed him. And Mr. Wallace is like, she can't help him. Like, he's dead. There's no fixing this. And all she can do is send you straight to hell. So go home and see to your boy, basically. Like, just let it go type of thing, right? And one of Wallace's grandkids, Bunt, he tells Ed where to find the witch, and Ed tells him to take him there. So they get to the witch's house. Apparently her name is Haggis, which I thought was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I wrote it down, I was chuckling to myself, because all I think of is like the Scottish dish or whatever.
Yeah.
It just made me think of Hagrid.
Good.
And
completely different vibe.
Completely different vibe. I just can't do this.
Love Hagrid. Okay. Things might have been different if it had been Hagrid.
Sure.
Stick Dumbledore on their ass. All right. So Ed carries Billy inside the witch's house. Very much like a swamp witch vibe, which I was so down for. I loved it. And, the witch is like, I can't bring him back, but I can help you, like, act out your vengeance, basically.
Right.
And Ed asked her, like, please call upon this creature that I saw as a kid. Pumpkinhead, and she warns that a terrible price is attached to that desire.
Correct.
But he's persistent, and she tells him to go to an old graveyard and dig up this body and bring it back so she can do some witchy voodoo stuff on it.
Right.
And he's like, how will I know which body, what cemetery? And she's like, you'll know.
Oh, but you'll know.
Pillar.
Oh, you'll know.
Right?
And she just says, leave Billy with me. He'll be here when you get back, right? So he goes to the cemetery, and sure enough, he knows.
Mhm.
It's like one giant pumpkin patch, which I
Right.
thought was so fun. But like, it's not an ordinary pumpkin patch. These pumpkins look very like supernatural, right? Like nature has taken hold and done something different with these pumpkins.
Right.
So he starts digging up this body that's on this giant tomb. And I love how the body like still had maggots on it. I thought that was a really fun touch. So Ed brings it back. Meanwhile, Steve tells Joel that, you know, he's willing to take the heat for Joel because he doesn't have a record, which I thought was like really nice of Steve to do, you know, but,
Sure.
you know,
He's
we
gonna
all
throw
want to,
himself on the sword for his brother.
yeah. I mean, most people would be willing to do that for their family, depending on who it is. And meanwhile, their friend Maggie is like just catatonic and she's hearing voices, right? So Ed gets back to the witch's house and she uses the blood from Ed and Billy to resurrect this corpse, which then rises into like this demonic monster, which is Pumpkinhead. And Ed like starts like almost convulsing and he basically faints. And when he wakes up, Pumpkinhead is gone and she tells him that it has begun. And he takes Billy's body back with him and he's struggling to stay awake. He almost crashes into a car at one point. And when he pulls over, he like looks over into the passenger seat and he sees Billy like as if he were alive. And he's like, what did you just do, Daddy? And it's like he's really feeling guilty here on what he chose to do.
See, and when he said that, I didn't just get the "What did you do here, Daddy?" kind of like, "Why did you go to the switch?" And because the dad's also feeling the guilt. At least I think feeling the guilt that he left the boy alone.
Oh yeah,
So
100%.
like, why did you do? Why did you leave me alone? Why do we have to go to the switch? That whole 9 yards is what I got out of that. I was like, oh, that just hurt.
Like,
yeah.
What did you do? All of this. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
all of this.
Yeah.
This is your fault.
100%. It is. Yeah. And meanwhile, back at the cabin, the teens are starting to chill out a little bit. Maggie, she just gets up and goes outside. And Steve follows her because she's been acting weird, like since they got there. And she's not responding, but I love this. And I know you love it, Ethan, because he picks up her cross on her neck and he like shoves it in her face. And it's like the only thing that brings her back. And she realizes what happened and everything. And she hugs him or whatever. And then, unfortunately, Pumpkinhead is there and he kills Steve. But yeah, which is really shitty because like you really like Steve. You know, I was hoping that he would make it when I first saw it. But Steve is dead, and we find out that Ed literally can see what Pumpkinhead does and feel the people dying. Like he feels their pain as well. So it's interesting. Joel, he really is starting to feel bad for what he did. And he's like, I'm going to own up to what I did. He decides to unlock his friends from the closet. So generous of him.
Yeah, it was very nice of him.
What a guy.
Yeah. What a guy. Yeah. Maggie comes back in and she's frantic and desperate. And she tells them what happened to Steve. And she's like, we need to save him, rescue him. The guys go out and look and the girls stay back and lock the door of the cabin. Joel, he ends up finding Steve's bandana dripping with blood. And then they go back to the cabin and right as they try to go back out, Steve's body drops in that classic 80s way that we all love,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And Maggie ends up getting taken next. Hi, everybody. Just wanted to thank all of you guys for listening and supporting the podcast. If you haven't already, please follow us, like us, leave us a review. Little things like this can really help the podcast out so much. Also, if you want to hear your name mentioned in our episodes at the beginning and receive fun little goodies from the entire Bloody Essentials team, you can join our Patreon. It's 100% like no commitment. All the proceeds go back into the podcast. It helps us upgrade our recording equipment, our editing software, all those good things. And it also helps pay for our travel expenses with our upcoming appearances. So that can add up really fast, but we're looking to hopefully expand to other conventions and, going to other states to see spooky attractions. So funds like that will help significantly. Also, I don't know if you guys know, but before we can actually like start receiving funds through YouTube and things like that, as horror creators, we need at least 500 followers on YouTube. So if you aren't already following us, but you listen to us and you really like our content, please like us, subscribe. It really helps out so much and it allows us to keep doing what we're doing. So we love bringing horror to you each week, whether it's content creators, our thoughts on a film. So we really want to keep doing this for as long as possible. And money is unfortunately a big way to stay on top of that. So like I said, all of your support really means a lot, and you get fun little goodies from all of us. We got Bloody Essentials merch, we got horror goodies that we've been saving for you guys, whether it's stickers, horror collectibles, like I'm talking like shirts from your favorite horror companies, Fright Rags, all those good places. And then, of course, we've got some NECA figures and all those kinds of things. So if you want to receive fun horror goodies from your Bloody Essentials crew, join our Patreon. It's going to be a really good time. We also have a Discord channel and unedited episodes before they air. So that's always exciting. And we're hoping to be doing movie parties really soon. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, just thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll get back to the show now. And once again, we see Ed feeling and seeing everything that Maggie is experiencing. And he goes back to the witch and he's like begging her, like, please make it stop. And she's like, it can't stop. You did this. It will only stop once it's complete.
Yep.
So once all the teens are dead, it'll be done then. So we see Pumpkinhead brings Maggie's body into the cabin. He like throws it in there, right? And Joel, he grabs a machete and he's going to try to take Pumpkinhead on.
Yeah, because that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And the creature's like, no, and he grabs Joel.
And no.
He just throws him across the cabin with like one hand, which I thought was awesome.
Right.
And he decides he's going to grab Kim and kill her. So,
as you do.
As you do.
Right.
It's fine. She wasn't doing anything. She's just there for fodder.
Most she did was feed him a beer while he was driving.
Yeah.
So technically she was part of it.
Right.
I don't think I knew her name until they screamed, Kim! So I was like, oh, well, I'll write that down in my notes.
Right. Okay, her name's Kim. So.
Yep, her name's Kim. Write that down. Kim died. Let's see. So the teens, they are running and they're banging on house windows and doors and no one's letting them in. Mm-hmm. And, they try to take the truck of the owner's house and the owner shoots at them, tells them to go and run away like you can't be helped. Ed shows up and he's shooting at Pumpkinhead and Pumpkinhead like falls down. And Joel, like a dumbass, because he's never seen a horror movie in his life.
Apparently.
He goes up to Pumpkinhead and he shoots it. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's dead now. And
let me stop here for a minute.
Yeah.
We've all seen horror movies. But let's say that we had lived under a rock. We had never seen a horror movie. We didn't know what horror was. We lived in La La Land where everything is just, rainbows
peachy,
and sunshines and bunnies, and we had never seen anything. And this happened to us. And this 7-foot alien-looking thing has been trying to attack us and kill us
All night. Yeah.
all night. Even if it was shot, are you going to go over and look at it?
Hell no.
I'm not. No. I'm like,
Mm-mm.
sorry.
Not
I'm
kicking
like,
it.
what was
nothing.
that big white blur? That was Ethan.
And he was so close to it, he was practically laying on top of it. He was so close to it.
It's a shotgun that they're holding. Like, it doesn't need to be close. That's why people buy them, because it doesn't require accuracy or closeness. Yeah, that's the whole point of having a shotgun. Like,
it was like a buckshot. You could stand across the way and shoot him, and you're still going to hit him.
Yeah, exactly. So Pumpkinhead, he grabs Joel and knocks him over before killing him. Impalement, fun death, always fun. I love how we're all excited about that. Like, yes.
Especially because it happened to him that way.
We've all got issues, so.
Oh, he definitely deserved it. Yeah.
Oh,
he was a piece of shit. Like, I don't care if he felt bad afterwards. Like, you ran away. Yeah. And once again, we see Ed feeling it. And the teens are like, what the fuck's happening? Right. And the neighbor's dog like attacks him because he senses the creature like in him, basically. And Tracy and Chris, the only teens left at this point, they run to Wallace's home because that just happens to be the closest one to them at this point. Bunt, who led Ed to the witch's house earlier, he decides he's going to help them, even though none of the rest of the family is. They're not letting him in, but Bunt, like, he sneaks out the back or whatever and decides he's going to take them to an old church.
I think that Bunt really didn't believe that Pumpkinhead existed.
He didn't. He was like teasing his brothers and sisters about it, like, oh, Pumpkinhead's going to get you and stuff. But like, he didn't actually believe in it.
Yeah, even when they locked him in the house and they were like, go to bed, and he didn't believe it. That's why he went out the window and he's like, come on, I'll help you, get out of here. And then, they seen him at the church and he was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Right? I done messed up, Ron.
And then the part when Ed got attacked with a dog, I think that's the first part where they show that Pumpkinhead is attached to him as well, because it showed Pumpkinhead like move his arm like it was hurt because he got attacked. I mean, it shows the part where Ed is attached to the Pumpkinhead, but now it shows the part where Pumpkinhead's attached to him as well.
Yes.
Which, that you're right. That is the first time that happens. And you start to get the sense that, like, what's going to happen to Ed after all this?
Right. You wear one and the one are two. So
love it. So Bunt takes them to an abandoned church, which was beautiful, by the way. Really cool set.
Right.
And
it's just abandoned because it just very old, falling apart.
Right. Yeah, it's got one wall.
I was just gonna say,
there's no roof.
Listen, it's holy ground and all, but there's one wall. How this thing not supposed to get in here? There's one wall.
Because it's hallowed ground.
And then Pumpkin comes through the door.
Yeah, right.
It's hallowed ground. He thought it would be safe. Anyways, he would have had better luck taking him to a cemetery.
Right?
Yeah. So Tracy is asking Bunt about Pumpkinhead. Like, what is this thing that's after us? And he basically explains that he thought it was a myth this whole time, but the legend goes that he is a demon. He is meant to, he was meant to scare kids into being good. But if Pumpkinhead is after you, you must have done something really awful. Because he acts on revenge for a wrong done to another man. And then, like, up until this point, like, Bunt had no clue, like, what happened. Right. So he finds out about Billy and why Ed asked to go to the witch initially. And I think at this point, like, he's really feeling bad for even taking Ed to the witch's house.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you would think.
I supposed to put it all together, yeah.
Yeah. He definitely is like, oh shit, like, I shouldn't have done that.
That was my bad, G. My bad.
Whoopsie. And now he's after all of us.
Right?
Yeah.
That was my bad.
I just fuck up after fuck up today, man.
Right?
He's like, well, I only took him halfway. He found the other half himself.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Pumpkinhead appears, and I love how he grabs, like, the cross that's in the church and he breaks it. That's really cool. But they're able to get away, and we see Ed. He shows up at the Wallace's house, and he begs Mr. Wallace to help him make it stop. And they're like, just go away. Like, we can't help you. We're not going to help you. Like, you're on your own.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know what he expected. Like, these people are definitely not the type of people that are going to help in this situation.
Right.
Like, they weren't that hospitable at the beginning of the movie.
He's like, I told you to leave it alone at the beginning.
Yeah, I was the crazy Ralph guy that told you to fuck off and go back home, and you didn't listen.
I told you it had a death curse. You didn't listen.
It
Now
had
you
a
die.
death curse. Now you die.
That's right.
So, meanwhile, we see Pumpkinhead. He ends up catching up with the teenagers, and he attacks Chris. And Ed catches up with them, and he gets Tracy and Bunt into his truck. Pumpkinhead has taken Chris with him. And so Ed takes Bunt and Tracy back to his place because, like, where else is he going to go at this point?
Right.
So they're back at Ed's house, and Tracy tries to confront Ed, like, why did you set this monster on us? Like, you know?
And that's when Ed backhands her, and he's like, really? Really?
Yeah.
You really want to know why, bitch? Really?
Yeah. She's begging him, like, please make it stop. And he's like, nothing can make it stop. So we're going to send it back to hell. Such a great line. Great dialogue all the way around. Yeah. Gypsy the dog, she alerts Bunt that Pumpkinhead is nearby. So I love how they hide. I love how Gypsy's like in a little chest. I think that was so cute. And Ed starts to kind of like convulse and stuff. And Tracy's like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this is happening again. And we see Pumpkinhead. He appears, and he's got Chris with him. So Pumpkinhead kind of like throws Chris on the ground or whatever. And he goes after Bunt instead. He ends up finding Bunt and grabs him. Ed stumbles out of the barn, but he's accidentally stabbed in the arm by a pitchfork. Yeah. And at this point, Ed realizes that Pumpkinhead is attached to him because we see Pumpkinhead like crying out in pain, and he like drops Bunt, and Pumpkinhead's head is becoming more like Ed's face, which is really cool. That's a fun effect.
And Ed's face is becoming more like Pumpkinhead, like his eyes are changing.
Yeah, his eyes are changing.
Yeah.
So, like, as Pumpkinhead becomes more human looking, Ed is becoming more monstrous. And yeah, he realizes that they are linked. And basically, the only way for Ed to kill Pumpkinhead is for Ed to die himself.
Right.
So, Ed like runs off to his truck or whatever, and Tracy is like, "What the fuck? Okay, I guess I'll try to save us." But Pumpkinhead grabs her, and just before he tries to kill her, Ed gets his gun from his truck and shoots himself in the head.
Yeah.
Yep. And so
what a bad shot too. The fuck?
Seriously.
Still alive. What the hell? Can't even kill yourself right. Come on.
He's going through a lot. So both Pumpkinhead and Ed, they fall to the ground. And Ed is still alive, as you mentioned. He's begging Tracy to end it, and she shoots him with the gun again.
Right.
And the kids watch as Pumpkinhead bursts into flames, just randomly combusts, which was fun. And then later we see the witch burying Ed in Pumpkinhead's former grave.
Yes.
And we hear her say, ready to wait for the next person, still seeking revenge. And we are able to see into Pumpkinhead's or Ed's burial grave, and we see that he's still wearing the necklace, but he looks like Pumpkinhead now.
Yeah.
Like he looks like the skeleton from the beginning of the movie. But he's still wearing the necklace. Billy made him. But yeah, that's the end of the movie. So he is the next Pumpkinhead.
I wonder who the original Pumpkinhead in this movie was. Like who the person was before.
I believe it's the guy from the beginning, 1957.
You think it was? Because I wonder if they turn into the Pumpkinhead regardless, or if they turn into the Pumpkinhead if they don't reach the ending of what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
I think that if you ask for Pumpkinhead, you become Pumpkinhead, and that's the
No
price that
matter
the witch
what, right?
mentioned at the
Yeah, I
beginning.
think so too.
Because I
Okay.
don't think many people stop Pumpkinhead. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I
yeah.
feel like this might be the very first time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
So,
And it don't matter because you're gonna turn into it anyways, right?
yeah, exactly. Like, you're gonna die. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if your only like loved one in the world is dead, like, do you really want to keep living?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
What makes a difference? Yeah.
Poor Gypsy, though, right? She's all by her lonesome. Hopefully, Tracy adopts her.
Takes her, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Tracy seems sweet. She might.
Right.
Well, she better,
Yeah. Right. Right. Or else.
right? Set Pumpkinhead on your ass. All right.
All right.
Fun facts.
I've got a few of those. Would you like to
Good.
hear them?
I'd love that.
Okay. I'm going to tell them. The film name and the character actually come from a poem by Ed Justin.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that, and I have tried to find the poem, but I did not. So if anybody finds it, let me know.
Please.
Stan Winston is the director, and he is known for his special effects work. Now,
Yes.
the suit, the Pumpkinhead suit,
Mm-hmm.
weighed 65 pounds.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
Yeah. There was one suit that was required for the whole shoot. But they did have special double suits for different scenes. But there was only one major suit for the whole thing. So,
Jeez.
right? This has been thrown into the cult classic genre.
Mhm.
And it is absolutely adored and loved by author Anne Rice.
Oh,
Yeah.
love Anne Rice. Yeah.
Yes, she absolutely loves this movie. According to
could
the
see-
internet. According to the internet, I don't know Anne Rice, so I can't confirm
Well,
or deny.
she's
I can't
passed
confirm or
away.
deny. So
She's passed away since, so she can't confirm either.
right,
Nor deny.
right.
Right.
She cannot confirm or deny. So, and the last one that I have that is just a little cheeky, and I'm going to have to go back and relook again because
Okay.
I did not notice this. And if any of you did, please let me know. Or if any of our listeners know the exact scene, please let us know where it is. In the movie, Pumpkinhead can be seen wearing a pair of white Nikes.
Oh.
I don't know what scene it is, but I am going to go back and rewatch the movie so I can find out.
I'm going to sit like this close to the TV. and just
I
be
know.
like,
I'm going to be like,
So
There
it's
they
not
are.
a scene. So it's not a scene where it shows the shadow. It's got to be a full body scene,
right.
or maybe the scene. Is there scenes where it shows just the legs?
I
don't
think
know.
so.
It might be in those scenes.
I don't think it would be that scene. I think it would be like a
don't think
faraway
so?
shot because they would have caught that if
Yeah,
it
they
was
would
just
have
the legs.
noticed.
It had to be like a full
Well,
body
how much
shot.
of the shoot could you see? Maybe it just maybe be the little part of the soul.
I'm talking
I
about
don't
the
know. It just says
editor.
that they could. See, well, they needed to be able to see that it was a Nike.
Yeah,
No.
for sure.
I mean,
Well, Nikes are printed on the soul.
listen, if
I'm just saying.
if the Game of Thrones editors at HBO didn't find the Starbucks cup, can we really blame Pumpkinhead editors for the Nike?
Well, you know, it is.
What
it
can
is,
you
but
do?
Those are
What
our
can you
fun
do?
facts, kids.
That's awesome. I love that. Very cool. All right, let's get into rating this movie.
Let's do it. Who wants to go first?
Jeremy?
Well, this year it was my first watch, and this is maybe my 6th watch already.
Damn.
I like this movie a lot. The storyline, I loved it. It does have me questioning if I would do it if something happened to my kid.
Yeah.
I may have done it because at that point it's like whatever,
Yeah.
I'd be down to get vengeance. I really got into the storyline. I love the special effects. The monster looks really cool.
He does.
What's big for me is like people didn't do stupid shit. Like I like when people don't do stupid shit in movies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this an 8. I really loved it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you seen the sequels?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Have you?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Ethan has,
You
of
have Ethan?
course.
Yeah, I have.
He probably seen the sequels in theaters though, not the original.
No, I actually did see some of. I want to say 3.
Oh God.
I want to say 3 was in either 3 or 5. I seen one of them in theaters.
I'm surprised that they weren't direct to video. Is
Most
Lance Henriksen
most of them were.
Yeah.
Most of them were, but you know how they do like
Re-releases.
Re-releases and special screenings of different things.
Okay.
That's when I seen it in the theater.
Okay.
Not like
brand new. Okay.
No.
Is Lance Henriksen in all of them or no?
I don't believe so.
Why would he be? What the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah.
It would be cool.
He's
if he
the
was
Pumpkinhead in number 2.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
In
He's
our mind,
just
he is.
nuts.
No.
Are the sequels good?
They're decent. Some are better than others.
Okay.
And now it's been a while since I've seen them.
But you would think
So-
that they are worth watching.
They're at least worth a watch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're worth a watch.
Okay. Rating this movie. Okay. So I love this movie. I think it's very unique and different considering it's an 80s slasher. Not my favorite genre, but if I find a slasher that I love, I really love it. So with all that being said, like this has everything I enjoy. It's got some gore, it's got, characters that aren't too annoying for fodder. And really cool supernatural elements, lots of natural practical effects. Great acting by everybody. So with all of that, I'm going to give it like a 7.
Okay.
Really enjoy this movie and would highly recommend to anybody who hasn't seen it yet.
Okay. Well, with everything that you have said and Jeremy has said, I have to echo all of that. It's a slasher movie. It's an 80s movie. That's my vein. I love 80s slasher horror. I love the storyline. I love that whole I'm going to avenge my child, and whether it was his fault that the kid died or not, the love for the father and the child, phenomenal.
So good,
It was awesome. I think everybody did a good job here.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, I agree with you. It didn't have a lot of the tropes that most slasher horror movies have.
I think that's why I liked it so much.
Yeah, with all of the stupid stuff that half of them do. I think for me, my rating is probably going to be because of some nostalgia as well. Because of Dominic, and that really holds a special place in my heart because we both love that movie, and he was like obsessed with it. He was like, come on, we gotta watch this. So, around Halloween, we would always watch it. So I would definitely recommend it, and I would have to give this an 8.5.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Now,
highly recommend it.
When you went to theaters to go see the Pumpkinhead, did you go with Dominic?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Me and Dominic did see a re-release in the theaters.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
That's really
And
cool.
I know we've seen it at one of, I don't know if it was a Days of the Dead or if it was Flashback or what, but Lance Hendrickson was there, and we met him, and there was a screening, and it was on the big screen. So
Nice.
we've seen that there too. So
How was Lance?
he was absolutely freaking phenomenal when I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had the pleasure yet. So
Yeah, he was. I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about him.
Mhm.
He was hella nice when I met him.
Nice.
So yeah,
He's
very
got that
personable.
vibe about him. He seems like
Yeah.
it.
Very
Yeah.
personable. Talked with everybody. Wasn't because he's a bigger celeb.
He
Most
is,
of the time
yeah.
they kind of push them through, and come on, because he's got to go. And he took his time with everybody. He was very nice.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we wrap things up, I just want to say, and I think these guys can echo because they are fathers themselves. We just want to wish our listeners happy Father's Day, Patreons happy Father's Day, and of course, Jeremy and Ethan, happy Father's Day.
thank you.
fatherhood is not something to enter into lightly, and you guys make it look effortless. So
Thank you.
I hope
Thank
you guys enjoy your day.
We appreciate that. Happy Father's Day to all of our listeners.
Yep.
And happy
And
Father's Day to all the single moms out there too, pulling both reins.
absolutely, 100%. And, happy Father's Day to the parents that aren't biological or whatever it may be. And also just the adults and kids out there that don't have any parental figure. It's tough out there. So keep being your own supporter. But anyways, happy Father's Day. Hope you guys enjoyed our review of Pumpkinhead, and let us know what you guys think of Pumpkinhead and its sequels, because we'd love to hear from you guys. Just remember, if you ever find yourself in a horror movie, don't have sex.
Don't do drugs.
And certainly, don't die. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.